Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to be commencing my review of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight's Meadow, the drowned action figure. Is this action figure a paragon of resounding perfection, or should it be relegated to the dumpster, or is it characterized by insipid, unalloyed mediocrity? In the form of a quantitative score, I have to raise this action figure to be a 7 out of 10. Is it meritorious? Is it stupendous? Does it hit all cylinders? I believe so. This action figure is the quintessential action figure of the drowned. Fortunately, much to my relief, much to my gratification, McFarlane Toys furnished the DC Comics fandom with an action figure of the drowned. I do not believe that this action figure has ever been manifested into plastic form. So much to my relief, this action figure does embody its comic book counterpart. I believe it's a character derived from the Dark Knight's Meadow series. You can verify the veracity of that for yourself. I'm not too well acclimated with the DC comic books, but I'm under the axiom that this character is cunning, conniving, iniquitous, sadistic, menacing, intimidating, hostile, and evil in every facet, to say the least. What are my gripes appertaining to this figure? Well, before we delve into that, let me just explicate the redeeming qualities appertaining to this figure. This figure is meticulously detailed. It has a high quality sculpt, high quality aesthetics, high quality shadings, high quality textures, and of course, a high quality trident. Furthermore, this action figure comes bundled with a base in tandem with an art card. Unfortunately, much to my dismay, much to my consternation, much to my distress, much to my agony, much to my grief, much to my irritation, much to my unalloyed disappointment, this action figure commands a steep, staggering, hefty, exorbitant, lofty premium price of $20 plus sales tax, which is 2 to 50% greater than the retail price of an 8 October's Marvel Legends action figure. Unlike an 8 October's Marvel Legends action figure, this action figure is devoid of a Build-A-Figure piece for a colossal, robust behemoth of a 14 to 16 inch Build-A-Figure. Furthermore, unlike an 8 October's Marvel Legends action figure, this action figure lacks a comic book. It should come bundled with a comic book, just like an 8 October's Marvel Legends action figure came bundled with. This action figure also has scant accessories. You get a trident, a base, and a collectible art card. There's not enough value in here for me to warrant, for me to vindicate, for me to justify relinquishing $20 plus sales tax on a single figure. That's only roughly 7 inches tall. So this action figure does coincide eminently well with a prodigious 6 to 7 inch action figure collection. She looks like she's poised for battle and ready to be embroiled in combat at any given moment and impale her adversaries and render them cadavers, to say the least. Anyone who comes within her vicinity is more than likely preordained to become evicted from the DC Dark Multiverse, assuming that she resides in the DC Dark Multiverse. As I stated earlier, I'm not acclimated with the DC comic books. She only possesses 22 points of articulation, so while she is nimble and flexible, she doesn't have as much latitude for dynamic posability relative to an 8 October's Marvel Legends action figure that was sporting 32 to 40 points of articulation. She has slightly less than half as many points of articulation as an 8 October's Marvel Legends action figure that had 40 points of articulation. Now, for the $20 plus sales tax price point, she should come bundled with additional figures, additional armaments, decks of trading cards, as well as movies featuring characters from the DC Multiverse. She should also come bundled with a myriad of interchangeable hands and heads. I hope that the price of this figure precipitously plunges in the pending future so that it can be deemed affordable, because right now it's cost prohibitive, but it's unlikely that this figure's price will precipitously plunge, especially since the supply is finite and the demand is enormous, to say the least. It's unprecedented. There may be a supply shortage because it's unlikely that the market will be at equilibrium in this context. In other words, supply will not be able to keep up with demand, and because of that, this action figure is more than likely preordained to substantially appreciate in value and command outrageously lofty premium prices on the second-hand market in the pending future. Yet again, I do not know what will transpire. The future is enigmatic. If you are an avowed DC fan, then take heed of buying this figure. You will not be disappointed. The sculpt is just outstanding, to say the least. This action figure is aesthetically appealing to take a gander at. Is she the antithetical of Aquaman? It may be the Batman version of Aquaman in the DC Dark Multiverse. I do not know. I'm just making arbitrary assumptions here. That's what I surmise, but someone can let me know in the comments as to who this character is. I'm assuming it's an evil version of Batman. In the DC Dark Multiverse, but yet again I'm uncertain, to say the least. So I hope that you deem this video to be enthralling and insightful. If you're destitute, indigent, and insurmountably indebted, then you may want to defer buying this figure or abstain from buying it entirely. I may take heed of buying this figure if the price precipitously drops to $10 or less, but that's unlikely to transpire, and since that is inapt to transpire, I'll more than likely never have the fortune of adding this action figure to my shelves. It is unfortunate. Dismay has ensued, but it is what it is. I hope that you deemed this video to be engrossing. I hope that you were regaled and bedazzled. The drowned action figure is definitely meritorious, and it does pique your interest and tickle your fancy, since it's an action figure of an obscure character that has never been brought to fruition in action figure form. At least that's what I have been able to ascertain. Before this figure was announced on eBay, I never stumbled upon an action figure of the drowned. But maybe variants of this action figure will be released in the pending future. The future is obscure and beyond a veil of time and enigmatic. So it could possibly be the only action figure the Drowned ever released. We'll find out in the pending future. I hope that you deem this video to be amusing as well as fascinating. Thanks for watching. Have a riveting night. Goodbye.